We are in a once-in-a-generation infrastructure buildup. This is the largest infrastructure buildout in human history, and there is a fundamental reason for that. Artificial intelligence is going to fundamentally change how we compute everything, from database processing to the way we do search, the way we do recommender systems, and the way you watch movies. Of course, these new agent systems that have been developed and evolved last year marked an inflection point where AI became super useful. It is no longer hallucinating. It is generating informed content, reasoning, thinking, doing research, and is able to use tools. All of a sudden, AI, over the last couple of years, went from being curious to super useful. This inflection point also came with profitable tokens. Anthropic is making great money, and OpenAI is making great money. If they could have twice as much compute, their revenues would go up 4 times as much. Literally, these guys are so compute constrained while the demand is so incredibly great. The number of enterprise users, consumer users, and startups being built on top of these companies is just going through the roof. It is not like roads. Once you lay a road down, it stays fairly useful for a long time. The way computers work is you build up the infrastructure, but then you start replacing it 5, 6, or 7 years later. I think it is going to take us some 7 or 8 years to build up to the level that we have to sustain. After that, we are going to be refreshing and slightly growing, so we have several years of build out ahead of us. The important thing is that you have to go back to first principles because computing has fundamentally changed. It used to be pre-recorded. Excel, PowerPoint, and all this software was pre-compiled and sent to us. The way software works now, because it is contextually aware, every single time you use it, it takes into consideration the context, who you are, what you are asking about, what is happening to the world, and what other information you give it. The context is different, and every single response is different. From now on, every single pixel, every single beep of a sound, and every video that comes out of the computer is generated in real time. That is the reason why we need computers to operate software at such a large scale going forward. All these tokens are what we call intelligence. And for the first time, we are generating something of tremendous value. Intelligence as numbers. As I mentioned, this last year we went through an inflection point because these tokens became profitable, and so we just have to make more of them. It is good to always reflect on history because history informs us, but history doesn't repeat. You have to take into consideration what is actually happening. Always go back to first principles and think about what is actually happening right now. There is a fundamental huge difference between now and some things that happened in the past with the internet. Back then, there was a ton of dark fiber. Today, there are no dark GPUs. 100% of the GPUs are rented. In fact, GPUs that we sold 6 years ago are going up in price. It is not like they are antiques. It is incredible, like a fine wine, because the demand is so high. The demand is just incredibly high for 3 reasons. We went through an inflection point where AI became useful and capable. The adoption is incredibly high. And because these AIs are thinking, the amount of computation needed is great. To the extent that people continue to pay for the AI and the AI companies are able to generate a profit from that, they are going to keep on doubling and doubling.